right, guys, welcome back. Truth and Transparency. Nancy Guthrie, this is a live marathon coverage from the beginning. Right now, there is actually activity. This is a live feed right here. 12 News out of Tucson over there. It's still light over there because it's not, 7:33 here. 4:33 over there? 5:33. Again, outside of the house, they have a police presence now. They're staging in the driveway, but there's the feds, well, what appears to be feds, and what also appears to be this. It looks like a crime scene tech truck. So they put this tape back up, which is just really interesting. Seeing that Brian Enton was all over the porch. So some more processing going on over at the house. Speaking of breaking news, Ashley Banfield was trying to get with Jeffrey Epstein. Oh my God. I about fell out of my chair. Maybe. Have you guys seen that email? Man. So we're just on surveillance watch here. Did you guys hear about that? She was asking Peggy if Jeffrey was single. Oh my God. Hey, what's up, Johnny? That's right. I want to read you were just talking about we were just talking about the email. Bella's all up in the biz. I was like, did you know that Ashley Banfield was like hitting on Epstein? And then she's like, yeah, did you see all those emails? I'm like, I saw one. Like, I didn't sit there and like go through all of them. And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, did you hear what the reply was? So I'm curious if Ashley has seen it and was like, oh my God, that bitch. She's called me a desperate, dumped, single. What was it? Let me just read this. This is in 2012. Yeah, 2012. Ashley says, and late for Matt Damon premiere tonight. Won't make the movie, but may try for party. Is that still okay? Question mark. And is your friend Jeffrey still single? XO, Ashley. It says Ash. And then she responds and says, well, then she writes, what does she write to? What she writes to Jeffrey. Yeah, what she writes to Jeffrey's. That was to the Jeffrey's assistant. God, this is hilarious to me. So Jeffrey says, basically, why does she ask about me single? And then the response is, because she is a desperate, single, sexy, smart, newly dumped, single mom looking for love in all the wrong places. She was married to Stanley Schuman's wife, Sydney's cheating son. And you are totally handsome and smart and have a few bucks. Not a tough call. Still at JFK. Peg. Backhanded compliment. Just like, okay, Ashley Banfield hitting up Jeffrey, wanting to know if he's single after just doing a 15-month stint for, bringing in prostitutes under the age of 18. So I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it's out there. Now, that has totally changed my perspective on life now. Okay. But I thought Peg's comment, I was like, oh, I wonder if Ashley had ever seen this. Now she knows it exists. And I wonder if she's like, you fucking bitch, Peg. desperate single. She says the word single twice. All right, guys. Again, this is a camera right outside. This is live feed, and this is what they're playing. So I have muted the music. I thought for sure like Brian Enton would, pop his camera and be live talking to us. But no, so I'm going to bounce around here. I haven't covered any of the case yet, and I figured I'll just do it in one little live brief marathon sesh. And because tomorrow morning they actually canceled any type of what the sheriff or the spokesperson was going to do for this case until tomorrow at 11. So I think he may have been buying himself a little bit of time. I think something's going on. I definitely do. And I do want to mention the fact that it's not lost on me or Bella over here when I was like, wait a second. She was supposed to, Savannah was supposed to be going to the Olympics and, being a co-host for the, in Italy. And I was like, what? And now she can't go. And then you have JLR going out there and saying that Nancy's, other daughter is married to or dating boyfriend, and he's some Italian dude, and he's not even from here, and he's the main suspect. And I'm like, what? I'm like, where are we getting this? That he's the main suspect? I know that they dropped her off on Saturday on Saturday night, but yeah. But hold on, let's take a look. So we're going to keep this in our back pockets here with what's going on. But this is a live feed out of News 12. Okay. So let's take a look, though, at want to bring our attention to what's been like, just what are people saying? So when everything happened. And if we go to extra, they got a nice little clip when it first broke out. They got so I'm just going to go like this.
Real. Police believe 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie was a...
Okay, so this is entering its fourth day. I like the overview here. So when you're going to be talking about like, what are we dealing with here? If somebody's going to go and, abduct an 84-year-old woman. Okay. 84 years old, health problems. Okay. So this is a good overview of the area. Again, this coverage right here, this little clip here, is the beginning of the fourth day.
Show co-host Savannah Guthrie enters its fourth day. Authorities are looking into whether a ransom note sent to a local TV station is real. Police believe 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie was abducted from her home. Jonathan Vigliotti.
Okay, so what the biggest main sources that are coming out, like Brian Enton went ahead and he's physically there. He went up on this little, I should not be calling it a porch, but the walkway here up to the front door, and this here is blood, and they did swab it, but they were saying that the back door was open. So here, if your back door is open, but yet your front door has the blood, very interesting. Again, the hole that the back door was open, that source is coming from a high-level law enforcement source of Ashley Banfield. That's not somebody that I've spoken to, okay? But I'm putting out what's been reported, and then kind of we can go from there.
4-year-old Nancy Guthrie was abducted from her home. Our Jonathan Vigliotti joins us now live from Tucson, Arizona. He's covering this story. And Jonathan, I know you've been speaking with the sheriff leading the investigation about this potential ransom note. How does he view it?
Yeah, Errol, I spoke to the sheriff yesterday. He tells me they received that apparent note on Monday night, quickly handed it over to the FBI.
Okay, so let's get this straight. Okay, let's be honest. You're going to sit here and tell me that somebody sent a news station, a news outlet, a ransom note, and you're going to sit here and tell me that the news outlet had integrity to say, I'm not going to put this out there, and instead I'm going to call the authorities and, hey, I think this should go to you guys. I don't think this should be coming to us. I think that you guys should have this. That tells me they don't believe it's real. I'm just shocked that how did it not make its way out of TMZ and everything else? But how has that not been shown? Where is this ransom letter? Like, when the media gets a hold of it, you're going to sit here and tell me that, how did that not make its way anywhere?
Who is currently analyzing it. They have not confirmed its authenticity, but I am told specific details in it warranted showing it to the Guthrie family.
Who's y'all need
fingerprints,
to? I don't know
DNA,
y'all
camera
talking about.
images, everything you can imagine.
Investigators say they're using every tool to find Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos says the FBI is now analyzing an apparent ransom note.
Is there anything in that note that seems credible at this moment that you're giving weight to?
The entire note.
So you're not dismissing this note at this point?
Absolutely not.
He says he shared the note with the Guthrie family the same night he received it.
Of the thousands of tips that you get, you don't show everything.
Well, no, because some of them just don't have any.
This rose to the
sure
level.
It does. Sure it does. It's more threatening. You guys asked, was there any threats? This was pretty threatening.
Oh, there it is. Wanted to hear that for myself. This is a pretty threatening ransom. So we can put this to rest here. This is the, right here, we're talking to the sheriff here, right? Okay, this is pretty accurate information here. It's out of his mouth. Okay, he wants to say that, hey, we received this, but I think it's really interesting how it was received. Somebody from the media got it. Okay, so that purpose was for, we want you to put this out over the wavelengths, But here they said, no, we're not going to do that. How did they receive it anonymously? Did it come through it? I mean, they're all going to look into that. But I thought that was really interesting, and I really want to mention that. How it made its way. Like, where'd this ransom, and here he is saying, yes, we received it, and I shared it with the family on that, the night that we got it.
According to Nanos, the note contained details about what the 84-year-old was wearing the night of the crime, but would not confirm its authenticity.
Okay, so what they want to see from it is that, hey, we have video surveillance, right? This tells me that you believe that the family has nothing to do with anything. You're sharing this with them, in my opinion, because you do have the camera surveillance from the home, even if something was smashed. If it was in the cloud, you can get your hands on that. You could be able to see from the cameras of her own home if she was in fact wearing that. So I think it's a good sign that it shows, hey, we're sharing this with the family. So anybody out there that's saying, hey, prime suspect is the other daughter's boyfriend, I'm sorry, but that's unbelievable right now for me. You could also be sharing it to see what type of reaction you're going to get from the family, but this is, I guess, really threatening.
It was initially sent to a local news station who forwarded it to authorities and agreed not to report on it. But yesterday, TMZ was also sent a copy.
TMZ comes out with this note that you have known about, that the Guthries have now seen, and it sounds like it could compromise this case to some degree.
It could. I hope not.
The sheriff also says surveillance video from Guthrie's home has led them nowhere so far.
None of the camera images have revealed to us anything of substantive nature. No.
Really? Anything?
No, it only goes so far back. And so we're giving it to those camera makers and saying, can you do something more with this?
Interesting. Okay, so, wow, it only goes so far back. Okay, again, we're starting from this, haven't watched anything of it. Other than literally, hey, Savannah's mom, Nancy's missing. Okay. we're just going through all the stuff so we can get kind of a sense of like this is where all the reporting's at. And I like to hear stuff straight from here. Great source right there, right? Now, I've also been on the opposite end that I do know that when people get in front of a camera, when you're law enforcement, you are allowed to lie. You are allowed to say things that maybe right here it's opposite. Maybe he's just saying this like, yeah, we don't have any camera footage, but they really do.
And so we're giving it to those camera makers and saying, can you do something more with this?
He wants to go to the cloud. Now, we looked all over the area. There's hella cameras in the area in terms of like their type of cameras, like law enforcement. We're looking into Flock right now. We're looking into Flock. We're looking into some other things with the neighbors, just seeing how close they were. But you know, these houses they're pretty secluded. It's in a really nice area.
Tuesday, our cameras captured what appears to be a small amount of blood outside the front door of Guthrie's home. A law enforcement source tells CBS News that a little bit of blood was found inside the home. It's unclear whose blood, but authorities say it's being examined along with other clues.
The Guthries are very distraught, very concerned. What's important is we find mom and we bring her back home safe.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, an 84-year-old woman, you know, gonna bust in and go get an 84-year-old woman. Come on, man. Like this stuff used to be handled by the mafia. Like you don't mess with, like, why? How do you do that? How do you go in and take an 84-year-old woman? Like, this type of stuff, it's just ridiculous. We got some more footage. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Let's go back to, let's see. Again, so they have, like we just said, there's a feed out there right now. It's running live. We'll go back. The areas. That's their lovely music. They have a couple. They're setting up different cameras. So here's a new one. I mean, they have some really interesting lenses. Okay, there we go. This may have been earlier. Let me see if I go back. Okay, when they first started this feed.
Watch out for it's like right here.
There now for about an hour without agents. They were wearing suits. They all went inside of the house and they were in there for about maybe 20 minutes or so before two of them came back out and appeared to grab some sort of supplies from the back of the truck, what we could tell maybe a tripod, and then went back into the house. And they've been in there now for about an hour without coming out. We've seen disappearance of Nancy are working closely with the Guthrie family, and we appreciate the public's concern. The sharing of unverified accusations or false information is irresponsible and does not assist with this investigation. He also tells us that detectives are interviewing anyone known to have contact with Guthrie, and they're waiting on possible DNA matches found inside her home to be returned from a forensic lab. Now,
interesting.
A very quiet scene out here. There's been photographers out here all day, but other than that, we're just waiting to see.
They have where's all your mic volume? What's going on?
We'll share those updates with you when we see them.
They need to fix their mic. Okay. So then they started this live feed. Where are we at now? My God. They are flocking. Like that's a lot of presents right there, man. So are they taking the tape down now once again? It was up. Now they're taking it back down. Looks that way. Or is he fixing it? What are they doing? Oh my gosh. Again, this is live right outside the house. So, okay. Did that truck leave? All right, that's very similar. That truck was like what was at the King Road house back for the Idaho War. In that back is where they have all their, and they're setting up. Look at how they put that van. They put that van like that um to basically give as much protection as possible from media. Dang. Where's Brian Enton? Okay. All right, let's go take a look at some more. We'll keep this live feed going. Now, all right, so this is the reporting.
I have spoken with a impeccable law enforcement source.
This is this law enforcement source
who has informed me, with his knowledge of the investigation, of some extraordinarily serious pieces of information about this crime scene. I can tell you that Mrs. Guthrie had cameras, plural, at this home, and that they were smashed. You may have heard Brian Enton from News Nation talking earlier and asking Sheriff Chris Nanos a question in the news conference. And again, today, I'm recording on February the 3rd. It's a Tuesday. The press conference that was early in the day, Brian asked the sheriff, the camera on the front of the house is missing. And the sheriff said, we are trying to get into the companies that, are proprietors of this kind of cloud information to get that, and said by today, he did not have that information, did not have whatever was recorded. But I can tell you they are Nest cameras. They are Nest cameras, plural, and that whoever did this may have smashed those cameras, plural. So they're not there, presumably because law enforcement took those smashed cameras as evidence. I can also tell you I've got information about which door in the house was actually left open. There's been some erroneous reporting about some things. I now have the information about that. I can tell you about blood in the house. I can confirm. Brian Enton has some incredible reporting and pictures of blood outside the house. He's going to join me in a moment. We're going to talk about that.
Okay, so this is his walk up to go knock on the door.
I can also tell you whose car has been towed into evidence. And I can tell you that there is a family member who is being heavily looked at right now as a potential suspect. And there's more information about Nancy's pacemaker. You probably have heard up until now that Nancy Guthrie had a pacemaker and it disconnected from her Apple devices, her Apple Watch, her Apple phone, which were left in the home.
All right, we're going to slow this down.
At about
It's like somebody coughing, in my opinion, but
That's not it. The separation of Bluetooth between the thing connected from her Apple devices, her Apple Watch, her Apple phone, which were left in the home, connected from her Apple devices, car has been towed into evidence. Now, there's more information, and it disconnected from her Apple devices, her Apple Watch, her Apple phone, which were left in the home at about 2 o'clock in the morning. And that is a significant time, and I will tell you why, that it is extraordinarily instructive to this investigation in terms of narrowing to a window. I'll explain why in a moment. Don't think that.
Okay, so Ashley has a law enforcement source. See, this is what's crazy to me about it. So basically, someone's leaking stuff, right? Versus just like, hey, let's just do a press conference here. But I want to write down something here. 2 a.m. disconnects. From Bluetooth. Like I said, I haven't done any. This is a live marathon.
That the pacemaker stopped working because she died. That's not it. The separation of Bluetooth between the things that the pacemaker was linked to, the Apple Watch and the phone. When they get out of range, you take your AirPods, you walk out, you leave an AirTag behind, you get a notice, you're disconnected. That's more what this is about, but the timing of it is specific to narrow down the investigative window. So I'm going to get into all the details of all of these little pieces of information that I told you, because I've just touched the tip of the iceberg, but I also, from a few different sources. Number one.
Just the tip, Ashley, just the tip. Hey, talking about our boy Jeffrey, just the tip, Ash, just the tip.
From the sheriff himself, who held a news conference and answered questions. And then also from Brian Enton, because he got some great information. And as I mentioned, he's going to be up charge of the FBI in Tucson. He joined Sheriff Chris Nanos for the news conference. This is to answer your questions in the press. And I can tell you that we found out this is not a gated community. Okay, that was one report that came out. It's not a gated community. It's also very dark, and there are no streetlights. So very hard to see anything that might have been driving up and down those roads. The properties are huge, right? They're anywhere between 1 cam can see the street. It's not like that. Not everybody's ring cam can actually see the street from where they are on these big properties. The sheriff today said Nancy Guthrie's life is in jeopardy. Could be a couple reasons he said that. Number one, medications were left behind in the home. Medications that she would need within 24 hours could be fatal. And it's now 72 hours since the last time she was seen. So that could be why he said her life's in jeopardy. Or he could have said it because I now have definitive source information saying that there was in fact blood inside and outside the home. So blood
inside the home. That's even more. I think that's aspirated blood then.
Inside the home is scary because we now know she was taken against her will. Kidnapped was what the sheriff told me last night when I did my episode before. So blood inside the home, kidnapped forcefully, taken forcefully. That could probably be part of the reason why her life is in jeopardy. And Brian Enton's going to show you the pictures of the blood outside the home that he discovered today as well. The media has helped generate a lot of leads, the sheriff said. That's really important. He said, if you've got any information, 1-800-CALL-FBI. It's been helpful. They do not know what she was wearing when she was abducted, when she was kidnapped and taken from that home. They don't know if there were one or more kidnappers. Any indications she's still alive? Sheriff said, no idea. Can't tell you that.
They have no idea what she was wearing. So that means her Nest cameras there's nothing inside the house. But then he says it didn't go like back far enough. Something's weird about that. Something's weird about that. So I'll just tell you guys that I don't believe that that's true. This was notified so soon. Like it wasn't like this person was missing for a long period of time. You're going to sit here and tell me that the Nest cameras only go riding over and like, what's the purpose of having Nest cameras?
Is there a threat to the public? We were a little confused by the answer before. I think what he was trying to say was that we feel like this is an unusual circumstance. We don't think that this is going to be a serial kidnapping or whatever.
Serial kidnapping. Sorry. Oh my God. I gotta breathe. We do not believe that this is going to be a serial kidnapping. Can you just imagine that in like a press conference though? You get to ask your question. Yes, you right there. Mm-hmm. Yes. Is this going to be a serial kidnapping? Should we be like, what? Okay. Serial kidnapping. Again, guys, sometimes you just got to laugh. It's okay. Serial kidnapping.
Else has happened to Mrs. Guthrie, but there's someone out there that did this. So yeah, the threat is out there. He's not going to go as far as they did in Idaho early on and say there's no threat to the public, because Brian Koberger was out there for, over 6 weeks, and he's
Oh my God, dude. Every single episode, she just talks about Idaho 4. She makes a decent comment when she's talking about, she's like, well, I can tell you the last time, they lied to us when the December 19th, they told us that they didn't have a suspect and they already had his name. Oh gosh. She really gets me going. Oh, what has happened there? How did I lose my stupid thing? God damn it. Hold on. I lost. Hold on. I'll have to come back here. Hold on one second. Get up here. Oh. Here we go. We're going to go live, though. We got an update. We'll come back to her. Is she ready to talk? Come on. To stand out here and do this. They went to her garage. Yeah. I trip us all out, man. I thought that she was going to talk here. I don't know what's going on. That's why I came to her. This is live right outside the house right now. She's just, yeah. We got a canine search going. They had a canine search going. I wonder if that's her blood. If that came back as not her blood out on the front. Okay, well, honey, we can't just keep waiting over here for you. Listen to this. Oh, hold on. I was kind of behind, so maybe she should speak. Oh, God, she spoke.
What's going on
What you got, girl?
behind me here? That Suburban pulled up just after 3 o'clock, and we saw about 4 or 5 people who appear to be law enforcement agents get out. They were in suits, and they walked up to the house. They went inside. They were in there for about 20 minutes or so, and then 2 people came back outside to the truck. They were collecting supplies, from what we could tell, maybe a tripod, before going back inside, and they've been in there ever since. It's about 4 o'clock. For about 2 hours now, these potential law enforcement agents have been inside.
They don't even understand how to work their shit. Okay, so there's nothing there. She's just letting us know that, hey, guess what? They're on scene. Is Brian Enton running a freaking drone? That's a pull camera. That's 100% a pull camera. You usually have to get permission for that. He's on a drone, isn't he? Yeah, the dude next to him. Hold on one second. They're running a drone out over there. No, they have it raised so they're able to see up into the garage. I wonder can you look up what the laws are over there? I'm just curious. Drone, yeah, because we were just curious. You guys can be crazy. I'm telling you this. If you're going to get into ever do investigative journalism, okay, you better learn each of the states that you go to, like what you can and cannot do. For example, if you were to try to do that shit in Massachusetts, we got strict wiretapping laws over there. It's like crazy. Yeah. You cannot roll with any type of audio. Like if you're like at a basketball game, it's wild. You guys need to just read about it. I was like, this is crazy.
He's just not high enough. I fly his drone. He's not high enough.
Okay. I was just curious if he's running like a pull camera that's up off of it. It's got some really good stabilization. Etten got permission already. See, I mean, I'm sure that he would have. That's what you need to go do. So that's what I want to talk about it. So what you guys got to do there is, if you ever want to do something like that, just you go down and tell them what you want to do, and then they will tell you what you need to do. It's the easiest thing if you just go and say, hey, this is what I want to go do. I just want to make sure I know there's different rules and regulations in different cities and states. You know, tell them what you want to do, and then they will tell you what you can do and how you can do it. So that's all I want to say is that's how you would do it. Okay, let's go ahead and look now. I'm going to go back to, again, we're going to be live here for a while, getting all caught up on what's going on in the case. So going back to, I was watching mother bitch. Oh, that's just not what I wanted. I refuse to do that. Okay. Let me share the screen. He should get a...
over 6 weeks, and he's a threat to the public. But it didn't feel well. Were there any valuables taken? ATM cards? Sheriff would not say.
Ooh.
Sheriff wouldn't say was there forced entry.
Okay, hang on. I'm not going to talk about the ATM cards. Well, just let you guys know, let's think about it. 84 years old. Okay. 84 years old. It's good to know she's not writing checks anymore.
I can tell you definitively there was absolutely forced entry. Say was there forced entry? I can tell you cards. Sheriff would not say.
The sheriff would not answer the forced entry, but she's over here saying, I have my law enforcement source, and it was 100% forced entry. So we got burglary charge.
Sheriff wouldn't say was there forced entry. I can tell you definitively there was absolutely forced entry. The pacemaker information, they didn't want to talk a lot about it, but I will tell you, my reporting, my source says that the 2 a.m. separation, when the pacemaker stopped responding to the devices it was connected to, the Apple phone, the Apple Watch, that is the time they are narrowing down this kidnapping to. Yes, she was last seen at 9:45, but the kidnapping, they are pegging it to that moment because that is when.
Wait, what was that?
But the kidnapping, the Apple Watch, that is the time they are narrowing down this kidnapping to. Yes, she was last seen at 9:45, but the kidnapping, they are pegging it to that moment because that is when the pacemaker that's inside the girl, the woman, the elderly mother who was taken out of that house, it's separated. And so that is what they are now.
Okay, all I got to say is this is, heck yeah, man. When I'm 84 years old, y'all, if I'm going out and shimmying and doing a dinner and I don't get home until 9:45, you know, I'm getting like, yes. So Nancy, 9:45, brought home, last seen, and that's awesome. 84 years old. Think about that. That's interesting, right? It's fascinating to me.
Narrowing the disappearance time down to, according to my law enforcement source with knowledge of this investigation. Pacemaker separates 2 a.m. That's when they believe the actual kidnapping happened.
Okay, now I'm going to put in my 2 cents, okay? What if the pacemaker was taken out when they got to the next location? Okay? So is it separating from, when you're talking about Bluetooth, all right, for example, I'm going to tell you guys about a little bit about my house here. You guys ever put speakers in your garage? Okay? And you guys put them into your lights, and then you guys can like run your Bluetooth. So like, it literally, when you connect with your phone, it can like turn on your light and start playing the music that's in your phone if you're connected to the Bluetooth. Okay. Oh, Lana, can't take a pacemaker out. Well, it didn't say that it disconnected out like that. I'm talking about disconnecting from this Bluetooth. Please just listen to the story. That machine is at her house. I understand that. I just want you to listen to the story. Okay. So let me tell you, I have my phone and it's connected to the Bluetooth that's out there. And guess what? I'll be doing something. I'm like, what the heck? Why isn't this working? Why can't I play this? Why can't I hear anything? And it's because it's freaking connected to, and I'm like, I'm not even there. Like, what the hell's going on here? So they're saying the 2 a.m. I start hearing music play in the middle of the night. It's coming from my garage. I'm like, oh my God, someone's breaking in. No, it's just my phone. My phone's blasting Ashley Banfield or Nancy Grace freaking talking about murder. Okay. Wild shit over here. Yeah. So once you're out of the range, that's it. Yeah. So my question is for clarification of this is to understand that, you know, did you unplug from? Let's rewind it.
This kidnapping too. Yes, she was last seen at 9:45, but the kidnapping, they are pegging it to that moment because that is when the pacemaker that's inside the girl, the woman, the elderly mother who was taken out of that house, it's separated. And so that is what they are now narrowing the
It's separated from the Bluetooth.
disappearance time down to, according to my law enforcement source with knowledge of
So it just means that you can't track it anymore.
this investigation. Pacemaker separates 2 a.m. That's when they believe the actual kidnapping happened. The house was turned back over to the family yesterday after 6 p.m. Again, that would be Monday, February 2nd. They processed everything. Crime scene tape went up, done with the residents, turned back over to the family, but nobody washed the blood off the front steps up to the front door. And Brian Enton was able to go up and look at it because it's not a crime scene anymore. You're going to talk to Brian in a moment about that. I think I'm very frustrated.
That's the only one I care about right there.
Like, if I didn't, they are waiting for the camera information and very frustrated.
That's that's what that is. That's either coming out of your nose or that's coming out of your mouth.
Frustrated.
In my
Police
opinion.
are very frustrated by how long it's taking to get the Nest company. I learned that it is the Nest company. It's not Ring Cam. It's not Ring.com. It's Nest cameras that were out front that were smashed.
Okay. Was she like seeing anybody? Did she have like a person that would come and like, did she have like a man friend, like a companion or like a, hey, my kids dropped me off, you know, swing on by, you know?
They are waiting for the corporate Nest executives to yield that information back to the sheriffs. Listen, 72 hours. It's been a long time. I can understand why the sheriff would be frustrated that it's taking this long. This was at, again, 1:30 today. It's about 7 hours ago. So that might have happened.
You guys know what like the number one place is to like where hookups happen when you get older. You guys know that like the assisted living homes or like the 55 and active yeah, Naples used to be popping back in the day. Everybody was just catching something. So
happened in the last 7 hours. Maybe the sheriff has that camera information now. And with those cameras being smashed, right? That's evidence. All of that is evidence, right? What was the tool used to smash them? What did it look like? All those cameras as part of this investigation. But again, I can't reiterate enough how dark this area is. No street lights, dark and rural. When Brian Enton was standing right out in the, especially about the prime suspect and the car that was
an abduction.
Overnight, Savannah posting this image on Instagram. We believe in goodness.
Thank you. Leave with us.
Huge for Savannah. This is every 4 years. It is one of the biggest assignments. The amount of prep that it takes to do the Olympics.
I think this is really important. This is the biggest. When I saw this, I was like, wait a second, the Olympics? I was like, I was like, wait, what? This basically is preventing her from going there to Italy for the Olympics, which she just mentioned on her like I think the other day when she was looking forward to going, and she likes the skater, like she likes to watch all the skating stuff. I mean, who doesn't? And here I am over here. I'm like, oh my God, is it the Olympics? Because I'm like, I was seeing like summer. I was like, wait a second. I was like, oh my God, yeah, it's 2026, isn't it?
It's weeks and weeks and weeks of work, and she's not going. And someone is going to have to take her place and get up to speed and cover for her. But how heartbreaking that is that she's not going to be able to do that. And she will not be at the Winter Olympics at all for that coverage.
So, wow, right?
Helicopters showed up above Brian Enton while he was doing a live report today. It was low. It was low either. It does. First, let me
like, wow. Like, then she goes into this.
Tells me that Nancy Guthrie's son-in-law, married to Annie Guthrie, Savannah's sister, is maybe a prime suspect in this case.
How does somebody say as a source, maybe? Hey, I want to let you guys know. This dude, he may be a prime suspect. How does somebody that's working and knows about this investigation would ever say that? Hey, maybe, we'll put it out there. Maybe. I'm just shocked. Maybe.
At the very least, let me tamp that down, because
there you go.
Because sometimes it's the first person you're looking at, not families are always looked at first as well.
Dude, let me get this straight. They took his van in or car in and did not take in Eric Gowers. They were like, it's totally steam clean. It's perfect.
It doesn't mean right away. Listen, Ed Smart was targeted for weeks. Heartbreaking. That's what happens. And or Thomas the night before she disappeared.
Also, if she was in the car to go to dinner, like her DNA is supposed to be in there. So I don't know. I mean, unless there's blood,
Abducted, kidnapped. Kidnapped was the word that the sheriff used with me. But that Tommaso Cioni is maybe a prime suspect in this case.
Is maybe a prime suspect in this case. Oh God, Lana. 4 stages of a man's life. You believe in Santa. You don't believe in Santa. You are Santa. You look like Santa. Okay. Maybe. He might be. Maybe.
At this point, and that the car belonging to Annie has been towed and impounded and is in evidence. That's the word that was used with me.
Evidence.
This law enforcement source also said to me, who has the motive to kidnap an 84-year-old woman? The way it was described to me is, that's a burden, right? It's a burden to kidnap an 84-year-old woman with mobility issues needing medication. That is a burden. Have a benefit.
Yeah. It's like a kid. That's why they say you leave women, older, your elders and your kids alone. Why are you dragging people?
Sometimes it's somebody who has an insurance benefit from that. Sometimes
she's 84. You can't wait a couple years. Well, no, Lana, do you see her? She's 84, but damn it, she's 56. This woman's never going to die. We got to take her out ourselves. Seriously? Yeah, you see she's going out with us till 9:45. Look at it. I don't know. Let me also just throw this out there. How dumb. Okay. Maybe we just got to start doing shows that are just like the dumbest criminals. Let's go ahead and take mom out, hon, and put her all in our car, right? We'll just tell everybody that when we were out to eat, she got a bloody nose, right? And if there's blood in here, but today's going to be the day that we do this tonight. We're going to go with that. We're going to go back in there at 1, 2.
Sometimes it's somebody who...
I'm just saying, her vehicle, that car should have her DNA in it. I think that what would be odd is if there was no DNA in that car. If they're always transporting her in that vehicle.
May benefit because there's a debt, and that may be helpful. These are just musings. They are not evidence, okay? But the longevity in the business taken from that house. We're stopping at 2 a.m. That's when they believe Nancy was taken from that house.
Taken. The movie Taken? Taken from that house.
All forms of DNA were submitted, right? But the sheriff himself said that it came back. Like so far, the details that have come back have not pointed to a suspect, which tells them that it was like.
Okay. So we're going to now go like this, and we're going to go to now. Let's see. I think I want to get his little presser. Okay. Mic check. Mic check.
Se escuchó? ¿Se escuchó?
All right, here we go.
Good morning. I don't know that everybody knows who's here. Of course, I'm Sheriff Chris Nanos. John Edwards is the Tucson chief here for the FBI, and he'll have some words for you as well. This is really, for me, pretty new, all the media attention. So I apologize to you.
That's awesome.
Sometimes I'm speaking in generalities, and I'm not used to everybody hanging on to my words.
Oh, see how awesome this is? Dude, this is all you got to be. This is all you have to do. Explain this to people right off the rip. So smart. So smart. Like, hey, I don't, this whole doing press conferences, like I'm here, like, dude, I catch bad guys, or, I help get, elderly people into the car when it's slippery outside and there's ice. So hanging on to every word I say. I just don't recommend that because I just think that's great. That how reassuring and refreshing is that to hear? God, I love it. I already love this man. So right here, I'm already up here with him.
And then trying to hold me accountable for what I say, but I understand. So we're going to try our best to be succinct with you in the future. And also more important for you to understand is we have a lot of work in front of us. We have a job to do. And we have someone's life who is in jeopardy. And so job number one is we got to find her, and we got to work hard to do that. I understand there's great attention on this, and rightfully so. And I appreciate it, and I thank you for it, because it has generated a lot of leads for us. And so we're tracking those leads, and we're doing things with evidence that you would expect us to be doing. So having said that, we're going to set this up. I know that a number of you yesterday, you guys drove me crazy. Yesterday, I was going from AM to all the way to 9, 10, 11, midnight, answering concerns and questions, and it's just too tough. And it's not fair to the case. So what I'm going to tell you is today, we're going to do this similar to what we're doing right now. Here, we'll take questions. It's not really my briefing. It's your briefing. You'll be able to ask us some questions. We'll probably shut you off after a while because I just can't be here all day. We have work to do. But we'll take some questions. And then in a couple of days, unless something breaks, we'll do this every couple of days. So and we'll set up with you through our PIO teams to give you anything that comes up that might change. But clearly, they will notify you on these what I call media briefings. So with that, I'm going to ask John to come up. If you've got a statement to say, John, and then we'll take some questions and we'll get back to work.
Hello, I'm John Edwards. My spelling is JONEDWARDS. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge of the FBI's office here in Tucson. First, we want the community to know that the FBI is doing everything in our power to bring Nancy Guthrie home to her family. The FBI is working alongside the Pima County Sheriff's Department on this incident. In terms of what the FBI is doing, we are providing the following support. Primarily, it's analytical and technical support in the following ways. We're downloading and analyzing cell phones, obtaining cell tower information, conducting interviews, and providing any and all investigative support that the Sheriff's Department needs. We're looking at this from every angle, but we need your help. If you live in the area or saw something on Saturday night, the 31st of January, or Sunday morning, the 1st of February, please report it to the Pima County Sheriff's Department or the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Every lead and tip is important. We are aggressively pursuing and looking into every single one. Again, please help us bring Nancy Guthrie home. Thank you.
We'll take some questions.
Sheriff, is there any indication so far as to whether this was a random abduction or targeted?
It's like I said earlier, we're looking at all the leads, and we don't know. We're going to assume both sides of that. We'll look at both sides of that.
Sheriff, any idea what Nancy Guthrie was wearing, or the type of car that she might have left from, or any identifiable information that the public could use to help with those tips?
We do not.
Sheriff, do you believe that one or more?
That's an interesting. We don't have any identifiable information. So they asked about a car. They asked about clothing.
Use to help with those tips.
We do not.
Sheriff, do you believe that one or more than one person was involved in the kidnapping?
I just no clue. It could have been one.
No clue. We don't even know that answer.
Could have been more. I don't
How
know.
many
Let me get one second.
Is there any indication that Nancy Guthrie is still alive? We know the medication played a critical role here. It's been 48 hours. She needs it every single day. Are you looking for someone that is still alive?
We hope we are. We hope we are.
Sheriff said earlier that you don't believe there's a wider threat to the public. If you're not sure if it's targeted, why do you believe there's no wider threat to the public?
Well, we have crime in Tucson all the time, right? Like any city. And so when you say a threat to the public, is there somebody out there who's kidnapping elderly people in the middle of the night every night? We've not heard that. We don't believe that's the case. We do believe that Nancy was taken from her home against her will, and that's where we're at.
Sheriff, when you reference violence at the site, can you elaborate on that? And also, was there a sign of forced entry, any valuables taken, any bank or ATM cards used after her disappearance?
We're not getting into that. What I'd tell you is, like any crime scene, we processed this crime scene. We gathered all the evidence we could, to include looking for what? Fingerprints, DNA, camera images, everything you can imagine. And we gathered that out. Those things have been submitted forward to labs, to technological companies to help us. And we're like you. We're waiting for those returns to come back.
Did you find DNA that did not belong in that house?
The window of time from when she was last seen to when she was reported missing, and I know you guys are asking for help from the public, is there any way to narrow down what time you might be helpful? I know there was a report about a pacemaker dinging like around 2 o'clock in the morning. Is there any way to indicate to people, hey, look around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. to help them identify?
I really don't want to get into narrowing down the time, because narrowing it down means we could miss some tips and leads. We're working on with the data we've submitted for investigative analysis. We're working to see if that time can be tightened up. But for now, we're going with what we told you earlier. She was dropped off at 9:30, and she was found to be missing at about 11 o'clock Sunday morning. Let me get this one.
Okay, that's interesting. So what I would want to know here is, like, my mom calls me, you call your mom. How does that work? Like, in terms of 11 a.m., one of these people have to normally hear from her. Does she normally do something on Sundays? Does she go to church? Was she supposed to be somewhere and she didn't show up? How was it alerted?
Found in the house.
We've submitted all kinds of samples for DNA, and we've gotten some back, but nothing to indicate any suspects.
Anybody strange in the neighborhood? I know you're looking at video, different surveillance camera, anything that we should be looking out, different cars.
I have nothing in that regard.
Have any demands been made? Have any demands been made by kidnappers?
We have all kinds of investigative leads we're working on.
Sheriff, we noticed that the camera on the front of the house is missing. Do you believe the perpetrator purposely took the camera?
Don't know
Okay, so that's Brian Enton that you just heard.
that. We're
Missing. Do you believe the perpetrator purposely took the camera?
don't know that. We're looking into that as well. Yes, sir.
That scene been fully processed now?
Okay, so that answer, either he's lying or they didn't take the cameras. That means that the perpetrator did. I'm sure that she did not have the cameras up there, unless you're like, oh, I had this at once, and oh, I don't need this anymore. Like, I don't, they're just yelling at each other. It's my turn. It's my turn. Lana, she did not show up at church, and they contacted the family. Yeah, see, there you go. Okay.
We saw deputies leave around 6 o'clock last night. We didn't see tape go up. An Amazon driver was able to walk right up to the door. Is that pretty standard for how you handle this?
The scene is done. We're done with the residents. If we need to go back to get, maybe we want to do something with some other piece of evidence there, we contact the family and let them know. But we've turned that over to the family. I don't have the time, but it was sometime yesterday, I believe.
Sheriff, how about any tire tracks or any
No, ma'am.
footprints around the house?
No.
Was there
Sheriff,
any
would you please take us through the timeline that you've established of the events so far and
9:45, 9:30, 9:45, we were told she was left at her home by the family. At 11 o'clock in the morning, the family got notice from somebody at church that she was not at church. They went to the home, found her to be missing. That's the timeline. From Saturday night, 9:45, we'll say, to Sunday morning, 11 o'clock.
Have you been
Let me get from Saturday night, when in the morning, the family got notice from somebody at church that
tire tracks or anything?
that you've established of the events so far and
9:45, 9:30, 9:45, we were told she was left at her home by the family. At 11 o'clock in the morning, the family got notice from somebody at church that she was not at church. They went to the home, found her to be missing. That's the timeline. From Saturday night, 9:45, we'll say, to Sunday morning, 11 o'clock.
Have you
Let me get somebody back here, please.
Have you interviewed the people that reported her missing, the people from the
That's the family. Oh, from the church as well. We're doing all kinds of interviews. Yes, I'm sure we have.
Have you been able to access the footage from the cameras at the house?
Where that's all been submitted, and we're doing our best with those companies who own those cameras or built those cameras.
Are there any plans to release those videos from the cameras, from the surveillance? Are there any plans to release the video from the cameras, surveillance footage?
We don't even have them yet, so no, not at this time. This is an active investigation.
Okay, so that tells me, where's her phone? Where's her phone?
Report of a suspicious man a few doors down last week. Is that anything that you guys are aware of?
I'm not aware of it. My detectives may be. There's a lot of detective work being done, and I just can't get into those weeds or even discuss with you what they may not learn.
For
Yes, ma'am.
Support from the board yesterday. Are there specific resources that maybe the board has not granted that would have made a difference responding to this case?
Well, that's getting into my own local politics. I apologize. Yes, the board a few weeks ago denied a request for more cameras.
Is she?
More
Okay,
drones,
go there.
more AI capabilities with our own body worn cameras. All those things, you'd have to talk to the board. I'm not probably not the right time to go into this.
Sheriff,
Let me get somebody else here.
Sheriff,
Yes.
Sheriff, she's still in this area.
Do we believe?
She's still in this area, or is there somewhere else?
We don't know where she is. So we're like any investigation. You start from the point of where we last saw her, and we work out, and we are working as far out as we can go.
Okay, also this helps me with, if they don't know what type of clothes she's wearing, that means, in my opinion, the clothes that she wore out that night were at the house. And whatever she put on then after that, we don't know what she put on, but we can tell you that these are the clothes that she was in when we were with her, last night. So that tells me that they're like, well, we don't know what clothes she was in. It tells me that the clothes were, so it tells me that she got ready for bed. What type of shoes are missing? How about this? Does she have shoes on? Did anybody go through? Is she missing any shoes? Does she have shoes on? Jacket. Any jackets around there? I mean, we're freezing our asses off here in Ohio, but maybe not in Tucson.
At the house, like any broken windows or whatever, does it seem like people just went in and out?
There are concerns at the house that concerned us from the early on part of this investigation, and that's all I will tell you. Yes, ma'am.
Sure. Is there any history with Nancy needing police at her place or concerns where she
Good
was
call.
worried about somebody following or?
You know, our investigative team has looked into all of those things, and that has not been brought to my attention. So,
Meaning, like, they ran her address. There's no 911 calls, but guess what? I've heard that before, so we'll do our own.
she may have had something like that, but I'm not aware of it.
What is the extent of collaboration?
She may have had something like that, but I'm not aware of it. Interesting.
With the federal government, obviously FBI is here, CBP, are there other agencies?
Okay, you guys, this is why they're in there. Okay, did you just hear what the frick he just said? The FBI is there for their, hey, we have resources that you don't have. Okay, so what do you need from us in terms of like it's about all the technology. Okay, you think that you think the sheriff's department here is just, hey, yeah, we have all this shit? No, they don't. The guy just told you what he's doing for the FBI. Cannot believe that you wasted our fucking time with that question. That shit pisses me off. He is not a listener. How could you be in the line of work that you're in and not be a listener? Oh, that shit frustrates me.
CBP's role in this was in our search and rescue mission, where we constantly use them. They have great dogs our dogs aren't tracking dogs for this. Theirs are. And so they came out and did that. Anybody else, though, that we've asked for help from, whether it's the FBI, I know if we needed help from CBP or DEA or ATF, they would gladly give it. I've heard from leadership from all sorts of agencies, not just at the federal level, but across the state. Every one of them saying, Sheriff, you need anything, we're here.
Sure. So you obviously said investigators, when they got on scene, they found suspicious circumstances. When the family called originally to report her missing, did they say anything about the state of the home?
I don't know that.
Go with the 911 call.
Let me hang on. Let me make sure I'm.
There's got to be a body cam for like the wellness check, right? Someone do a wellness check. They just report over. Hey, we want to report. This is what would have happened, guys. Think about it. You guys see the blood that's right there, right? Hello, like the family is going to see that blood, like before you would even go in the house. So my question is did they even go in? Some people be like, oh my God, there's blood, and people will freak out,
People here. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so there was blood that was found inside the house and you're testing it for DNA. How much blood and where was it?
I'm not saying there's blood inside that house or outside that house. What I'm saying is our team processed a scene like you would think of any crime scene. We go in and we process it.
Mm-hmm.
We look for things like that, blood, DNA, any kind of physical evidence, fingerprints, anything. And all of that is gathered and submitted to a lab. That lab will report back to us what they find. So far, what we found from that lab is nothing that would tell us this is who did this.
We'll take a couple more questions.
Okay, so we're getting a report right now that there was a woman that walked up to Brian Enton, walked up, who gives a shit, and said, there's been people casing these houses back here, plural, not just that house, but these houses, and she's been trying to give this information to the police. Oh my God, wait, you guys. This woman says she has pictures, all this shit, but he's like, Brian Atten's like, you got to take that to the sheriff, you know? And she's like, oh, that's a long drive to their office. Do they not realize what's going on over there? She was there looking for the police, though, but she didn't want to drive all the way to the sheriff's office because that's a long drive. But she said she has pictures of people casing, not just that house, but they were casing that neighborhood, casing the neighborhood. So probably what they were trying to do is figure out which house was hers. But I mean, like, how dumb are you? Like, who are you sending on over there? Yeah. So they have reported on several calls in the last 2 weeks. All right, we're on it. Let's put a FOIA in for all the addresses with that on that street that's made a 911 call in the past 2 weeks.
Apparently, she like not called emergency.
Do the addresses that are closest to First Ave. Okay. On it. Let's see.
Questions, and then the sheriff's got to go.
Sheriff, can you walk through the evidence that was found at the scene in as much detail as possible?
No, I cannot.
What is
I
the
cannot.
bottleneck to this?
Can you walk through the evidence? Who is this woman that keeps asking these ridiculous questions? Can you walk us through the evidence? Yeah, let me just get to the app.
That is in the cloud, but you've also been reached out to tech companies that are saying they're cooperating. Why do you not have the surveillance footage on media?
That's what I tell them. How come I don't have this? Where's my evidence?
Yeah.
It is.
I love this
process, and I'm
dude.
sorry, but you know, we're grateful that there's large corporations and companies who have bent over backwards to help us, to say, hey, Sheriff, tell us what you need. And so, yeah, I can't stop.
And then you have to be so careful about that you can't just let, like, yeah, we're gonna accept all these people. Okay, you have to. This is an investigation. I'm sorry, but I'm not just accepting help from anybody. I want to keep it to, like, hey, do not report things for tips that are not fucking tips, you guys. Okay, it stays to a core group of people, and things are better when you start having so many people as part of this investigation. That's when shit falls through the cracks, man. That's when you're just like, wait a second, you did what? Like, what? Now it took me half of the day to debrief with all of you people that went out and did whatever it is that you were doing. You know, that's how stuff just gets lost. Sorry, but I've seen it. I've watched all these people work, and you just keep it tight. Motive, stuff like this when people kidnap people. Okay, this seems like a kidnapping. Okay, if they wanted to kill her, think about this. Why isn't she just there dead? How about that? Why isn't she there dead? Maybe because these people are like, well, we need a kidnapper because if we do this shit in here, then our DNA is going to be all in here. So we're now, transporting people because we believe in taking people to go kill them somewhere else. I don't know. But if they just wanted her dead, why not just go in there and shoot her? Done. Somebody wrote in the chat, thought I was actually thinking outside the box. It's like, well, what has happened from this? And it's kept Savannah from not leaving. So would anybody ever do something like this to say, like, I don't want you traveling? She wasn't listening to me, so I went ahead and I did this. And that way I kept her ass. Because, her mom instincts kicked in and she was like, I don't know. That shit's going on. You don't need to be fucking going. Who knows? Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter. But could that all be something at play? I don't know. That blood in the front area looks like aspirating blood. So I just saw that in chat. Wanted to comment on it. At least you're thinking outside the box. I like that. A jealous sister. I mean, why? Damn, I'm 84 years old. I mean, jealous. Jeez. I would be going to the restaurant that they dined in, going and getting the surveillance cameras there and seeing how they were acting when they got there, when they left, how all of that was, asking the waiter, whoever waited on them, if how were they at the table? Was there any arguing? And I hope that the waiter just says, I don't remember. Like, I waited on so many people versus lying and just saying like, oh yeah, like I just want to be part of the 5-minute story here. So, okay, let's go to the next thing I want to see is, let's see what's going on at the house. Well, actually, we'll go back there. There's probably nothing going on at that damn house.
Continues. We were getting updates.
Media circus on its front lawn and a chopper flying overhead. They are starting to fear the worst. Her disappearance, a terrifying mystery. Search and rescue operations have been called off from North Camino Escalante in Tucson, where 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie went missing. Some terrifying mystery. Search and rescue operations have been called off from North Camino Escalante in Tucson, where 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie went missing sometime between Saturday night and Sunday morning.
We have a lot of work in front of us.
Wait,
we
they've been
have
called
a job
off?
to do, and we have someone's life who is in jeopardy.
Without her medication, we're told Nancy is at serious risk. And as the search continues into day 3, the Pima County Sheriff's Department and FBI are bringing in homicide detectives to help with the investigation. TMZ and KOLD TV in Tucson reporting they both received ransom notes and are turning them over to the Sheriff's Department, who is looking into every lead.
What I'd tell you is, like any crime scene, we processed this crime scene. We gathered all the evidence we could, to include looking for what? Fingerprints, DNA.
Awesome.
There are no tire tracks out front, no footprints, and no explanation for her disappearance.
Nancy and her family are in our prayers. We pray that Nancy has returns, comes home, and is safe. And
her daughter Savannah posted on her Instagram today asking for prayer, writing, "We believe in prayer. We believe in voices raised in unison, and your prayers with us for her mother, whom she described as a woman of deep conviction and a good, faithful servant." She concluded the post with a final plea, "Bring her home," and a quote from Isaiah 26:3, "He will keep in perfect peace those whose hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord." Prayer is all this community has right now, and they are praying that the many detectives working this case will make a breakthrough, and soon. As for the sheriff, he told us that the next update he's going to give is on Thursday because he has so much work to do. He says, "You're not going to hear from me unless something breaks," and we're hoping something breaks quickly.
That moment that TMZ put on X saying that TMZ received an unverified ransom note today demanding a substantial amount for the return of Today anchor Savannah Guthrie's missing mother, Nancy. We have since contacted law enforcement. Story developing. So we will definitely continue to keep an eye.
Well, that's just fucking awful. It's just fucking horrible. What the hell's wrong with people? Let's see. Wow.
Where there is all of a sudden, and search dogs and search team goes on for the 84-year-old mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie is now in its 4th day with still no sign of her, and wild speculation filling the information vacuum. The Pima County Sheriff's Department is shooting down reports that a family member is a prime suspect in the abduction of Nancy Guthrie. In a statement today, it said investigators have not identified a suspect or person
I don't
of
think
interest.
it's him at all.
The office added that detectives are working closely with the family and noted that, quote, the sharing of unverified accusations or false information is irresponsible and does not assist the investigation. Now, what we do know about Nancy Guthrie is concerning. The sheriff says she doesn't have dementia, so she couldn't just wander off and wouldn't do that. On top of that, Nancy has trouble walking even 50 yards on her own. So someone else likely took her out of the house. And perhaps most chilling, she could also die without critical daily medication. Still, the sheriff says he believes Nancy Guthrie is alive.
We have nothing else to go on but the belief that she is here. She's present, she's alive, and we want to save her.
Meanwhile, authorities are
Wow.
investigating several ransom notes that were sent to TMZ and at least 2 other local Arizona TV stations. Tucson's K-Gun says it received a note demanding millions in Bitcoin by Monday or else Nancy Guthrie dies. It is similar to what TMZ reported. These notes could certainly be hoaxes or scams, but the station also said that its note makes specific references to 2 pieces of evidence at the crime scene that have not been disclosed to the public. Police are still awaiting lab results from DNA samples collected at that scene. The sheriff hasn't confirmed whether the samples were blood, but News Nation's Brian Enton went to the scene himself and found a trail of blood leading from Guthrie's front door. Let's go right now to News Nation's senior correspondent, Brian Enton. Brian, what's happening at the house? You were there when just minutes ago, police arrived in a pretty big number.
Yeah, something significant is happening. More police actually are just showing up. I'm going to get out of the roadway here, but I want to show you, Elizabeth, the crime scene tape is now back up outside the house. There was nothing going on here for the last 36 hours or so. And then just within the last 30 minutes, I would say maybe a dozen police officers showed up, sheriff's deputies, FBI, and they immediately roped off the entire area. I want to go to our drone because our drone has been up in the air where you really get a better vantage point because it's hard to see from out here along the road what's going on. But from the drone, we could see that there was FBI agents, that there was also Pima County Sheriff's deputies that came in. There were canines, and they were not only searching what appears to be perhaps going inside the house, but they were also doing what looks like a grid search surrounding the house in the yard and sort of the terrain. And it's terrain out here. I mean, there's a lot of cactuses. There's not a lot of, everybody lives on a couple of acres out here. They were searching the entire area around the house. What prompted them to suddenly do this out of what feels like almost nowhere? I mean, we've just been standing out here, Elizabeth. It's been totally quiet for the last day. They just all showed up. What suddenly prompted this, we don't know. Something else new in the last couple of hours, Elizabeth, at Nancy Guthrie's daughter Annie's house, which is Savannah's sister. That's about 10 minutes from here. At her house, there's been some action over there, too. We saw federal agents arrive there. They went inside the house, and to my knowledge, they are still inside the house. They've been there for the last several hours. The FBI was also there yesterday. We were told that Savannah Guthrie was also there at some point, so we don't know if they were just going there to give them an update or what the significance of that is, but there's also been police activity at that house too, Elizabeth.
Yeah, that could
Wait
be
a second.
obviously just keep
Wait, this is Savannah Guthrie's sister's house? Where this camera's been outside?
keeping the family up to date on what they're finding, not only with their investigation, but with these ransom notes that have gone to 2 Tucson TV stations as well as to TMZ. Brian, have police said anything there? And is it possible they're just putting up crime scene tape to keep reporters back for some reason?
No, I don't think that that's what's happening, because it wasn't just a couple of deputies coming out and putting out crime scene tape. It was a whole search unit here. There's another car behind that. And then there's a minivan that about 6 agents got out of.
Wait a
and
second.
again, with the drone, we could see that they were redoing a search out here and that they were investigating once again. So what prompted that, we don't know. It's interesting you bring up the ransom notes, Elizabeth. We've confirmed that we learned about the ransom notes yesterday, so that was Tuesday. But on Monday night, when no one was reporting about the ransom notes, they went to Savannah Guthrie, the sheriff did, and showed her one of the ransom notes, presumably the one that went to the local TV station. The significance of that, why they would want to show Savannah the ransom note, we don't know, but we do know they went and showed her and the family the ransom note.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app.
God, they think that this is like really like helping their brand, and it's totally killing their brand. This little cutout, like they're like, yeah, go, this is really gonna get them to go somewhere else to like see the rest of it. It's like, what? You just blasted me in my ear, man. Okay, hold on a second. Do we have her sister's address? Yeah, hold on. Do we have her sister? Okay. All right, hold on. We're going to fix this to make sure this is right. So they call off the search, and then they decide today, hey, we're going over to the sister's house, and we are going to, let me see something. See, okay, so this is Nancy's house. Let's see what that is from the Nancy's. And then this one's Savannah Guthrie's sister's house. Okay, so all the stuff that we were looking at was right. Just when we got to this still right here, this is the sister's house. Okay, so hold on. I want the you know what? Ronnie put in a FOIA with that address for the past 2 weeks. Actually, fuck that. The whole past 2 years. Oh, sorry. Fuck all my brain over here. This is live in working mode right here. Live work mode.
For some reason?
No, I don't think that that's what's happening, because it wasn't just a couple of deputies coming out and putting out crime scene tape. It was
I will hear in just a
whole
second.
search unit here. There's another car behind that, and then there's a minivan that about 6 agents got out of. And again, with the drone, we could see that they were redoing a search out here and that they were investigating once again. So what prompted that, we don't know. It's interesting you bring up the ransom notes, Elizabeth. We've confirmed that, we learned about.
Okay. Breaking Savannah Guthrie releases video about ransom. Okay. We're going to go take the clip right from my girl Anjanette Levy's channel. Boy, this is heartbreaking.
Fiercely loving woman of goodness and light.
Okay.
On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She is funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day. Despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief, we are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you. Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us. Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom. Love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you, Mom. We love you. On behalf of our family, we want to thank all of you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
Right there. She's telling the people that have her to talk to her. Talk to my mom. Talk to her, you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day. Despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief, we are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you. Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain.
She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk.
Okay, right here. Usually the FBI, they'll tell you not to deal with stuff like this. And I'm curious, are they going against, like, we're doing this. We're doing this. This is what we're doing. We're ready to listen. Like,
As a family, it's about a ransom letter to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media.
okay, see, that's weird to me. They're making it seem like that they weren't given anything from, like, by the sheriff. If the sheriff would have given me something, it's like the sheriff provided us with, I mean, it's like we heard about this ransom. Like everybody else, but we haven't seen it or something like that. I don't know. We're ready to acknowledge it. You know what I mean? Like,
As a family, we are doing.
There's more than one letter. I think that more than one letter has come in.
Everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us.
That's why she did this on her Instagram. She has the @Savannah all right there. Like, this is saying, reach out to me here. You come deal with me. Bring it to me. I'm putting out this, like, you message me.
Mommy, if you are hearing this, please. We are ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated.
Oh my God, they've sent her image and voice that her mom is still alive. However, we live in a world where you can just easily make it seem like this is.
We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her.
Yep. Where did you see that, Lana? I'm smart. I'm watching it. This is what that means to me, is that you sent something and you've basically, we live in a world.
Everything that we can.
We're letting them know that basically the FBI and them are trying to tell us that this isn't real. We're over here wanting to believe that it's real. We're coming out and saying this, and we're sticking to our script because the police have said, listen, you cannot just fucking do this shit. Okay? And they're like, we can do whatever the fuck we want. This is our mother.
We live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know, without a doubt, that she is alive and that you have her.
Yep.
We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen.
Yep. Boom. Good job. Fuck yeah. Great video. Good job.
Please reach out to us.
And that's why this is up, the Savannah. Reach out to us. Like, not the cops. You see that? They're not saying reach out to the sheriff's number. Here you go. Reach out to the FBI. No. Us. Reach out to us. We are ready to listen. We.
Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy. We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you, Mom. We love you.
Prayers for our you for the prayers for our beloved mom, Nancy. We feel them, and we continue to believe that she feels them too. Our mom is a kind, faithful, loyal, fiercely loving woman of goodness and light. She's funny, and spunky, and clever. She has grandchildren that adore her and crowd around her and cover her with kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
She's basically telling them to talk to her and she will help you. She's spunky. She's creative. She can help figure out how to get out of this as well.
Kisses. She loves fun and adventure. She is a devoted friend. She is full of kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day. Despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief, we are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you.
Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk.
She's saying that as a family, we are doing everything that we can, but guess what? The people that we're working with aren't. So we're
in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are ready to talk. However, we live.
They want to talk without cops. Unbelievable.
In a world where voices and images are easily manipulated, we need to know without a doubt that she is alive and that you have her. We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen. Please reach out to us. Mommy, if you are hearing this, you are a strong woman. You are God's precious daughter, Nancy.
He's like saying, Mom, hold on a little bit longer.
We believe and know that even in this valley, He is with you. Everyone is looking for you, Mommy, everywhere. We will not rest. Your children will not rest until we are together again. We speak to you every moment, and we pray without ceasing, and we rejoice in advance for the day that we hold you in our arms again. We love you, Mom.
Love you, Mom.
We love you, Mom. Stay strong.
We love you, Mom. We love you.
Okay, so this is the order that they did it in. This is what I think the only thing that they may have taken advice on was thank people first. Okay, so that came first. Thanking people. And they wanted all of them on the screen together.
She is our beacon, our lives.
Kindness and knowledge. Talk to her and you'll see.
The light is missing from our lives. Nancy is our mother. We are her children. She is our beacon. She holds fast to joy in all of life's circumstances. She chooses joy day after day. Despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief, we are always going to be merely human, just normal.
We're always merely going to be human tells me that how many siblings does she have? Like, did they just have 3? Is there anybody that's missing? Is there anybody that's missing? This is one part that I think is weird. They're just trying to talk about the fact that basically her mom is messed up, but she's human. We're all human. Like, it's like talking about that it was just.
We are always going to be merely human, just normal human people.
Or one of them messed up. We are always going to be merely human, just normal.
Who need our mom. Mama, you always day after day. Despite having already passed through great trials of pain and grief, we are always going to be merely human, just normal human people who need our mom. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you. Mama, if you're listening, we need you to come home. We miss you. Our mom is our heart and our home. She is 84 years old. Her health, her heart is fragile. She lives in constant pain. She is without any medicine.
She didn't say anything. Okay, well, this is crazy. That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. I see that there's a chance that I don't know that they know why this could have happened, but they don't know like necessarily who, but why. So if that makes sense, like, because we're gonna ask you like what's gone on, like what's been different, like what's been happening. What have you guys been talking about? What has your mom said she's been doing? You know, I psh, we are ready. We are ready. I definitely think that something was sent via video and voice. And so they're like, that's my mom's voice. And then maybe the FBI and them are like, it seems like it's AI generated, or can you tell if it's AI generated? We don't know if it's AI generated. But that's what that tells me is that whatever they've received, I believe that's more than one letter. And I believe that they've received something about proof of life. What are their political views? I don't make anything about political. You guys know that. Why now? You'd have to just look at it. It's all going to come down to like the life, like what is her mom into? What does her mom donate money to? What does her mom give money to? What is it? Is somebody one way, and you have a family, and some people within your family are one way, some people are the other way, some people are like, I don't even fucking talk about it. So I'm just curious if it's horrible. I don't know about that. This to me seems like they want to do this. It says we are ready to listen. They're also talking about they're separating themselves from the authorities. It seems like we are ready to listen. Our family's doing everything that we can. Reach out to like me, to us. Like they're not over here saying like, I don't know. This is so sad. I think this is 1000% to the person that took them. And I think that they want to do something. Could that be coached by the FBI? Yeah, the FBI could have wrote everything up and said, you stick to the script, do not say anything else than this. But I think it's kind of interesting that you would have the guy in there, but not talking at all. He doesn't have a part. I think that if law enforcement's going to be talking about anything, it'd be potentially the order. That's why I was paying attention to the order. Like you're thanking people. Okay, then just talk to her. You'll see
She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard.
That's like over there saying like, she doesn't need her medicine to survive, but she'll suffer without it. You know what I mean? Like she'll be
medicine. She needs it to survive. She needs it not to suffer. We too have heard the reports about a ransom letter in the media. As a family, we are doing everything that we can. We are.
Well, if her mom doesn't drive to church, how does she normally get to church? Like, who was supposed to pick her up to go to church that didn't, you know what I mean? How does her mom normally get to church on Sunday mornings? Let's talk about that. What time was the service? Because you should have been calling the family when you go to the house, and she, you know, at that point when you walk up to the door, you're going to see the blood. So nobody should be calling you from the church. They should be calling you from. She still drives. Does she drive herself? If she still drives, then should
Ready to talk. However, we live in a world where voices and images are easily manipulated. We need to know without a doubt that she is alive and that
if anybody out there, they should all be arrested. If anybody out there sends this account, her account in Instagram, any fake ass shit, arrest anybody that would interfere with this. They need to go to prison. They need to go to prison. Anybody that would interfere with something like this is a sick motherfucker. Fuck that. Because she's putting up this, you know, at her name. If people flood that and people like troll and sense, I'm sorry, but that should be, you should do jail time for that.
You have her.
That's obstruction of justice.
We want to hear from you, and we are ready to listen.
It's fabricating evidence. Ring these people up. If they fucking do shit like that, anybody that sends this woman a message deserves to get the book thrown at them. Anybody that sends, and I think it should be done that way with tips. Anybody that makes up shit, you're impeding an investigation. Start throwing these people in fucking jail. You want to throw people in jail for drugs? I'm sorry, but people want to go do drugs and they could have the potentiality of killing themselves. I don't give a shit. Something like this, and oh well, we're not going to just go hunt them down. What are you talking about? Go hunt them down. They use an IP address. Go get them. Okay. Anybody that would mess with this is sick. And they do it all the time in cases where people go missing. It's disgusting.
Please reach out to us. Mommy.
See how it says reach out to us? I'm telling you. This. And everybody would know that who has her. We can't reach out to that account from our account. That's traceable, right? Think about that. They're going to reach out, but they're not going to be reaching out through the Savannah Guthrie account. I can tell you that right now. If they do, they're going to be using they're not going to reach out that way.
If you are hearing this, you are a strong woman.
So sad. I just can't even. This is horrible. Anybody that interferes with this, you're going to fucking hell. And you deserve to. Right along with the person that fucking did this. Make me sick. I feel like they went off on their own here. I truly do. I think that they kind of were like, what's going on? There's a ransom. Remember, they came out and said, oh, we gave it to the family. Maybe the family saw that and they're like, we didn't get anything. You guys didn't share that with us. I don't know. I see some division there, and I know that I would do anything to get my parents back. And if I felt like the FBI or the police weren't taking that seriously, or like, what do you mean you're looking into it? Let me just see it. Let me see what's going on. I have a feeling that now they have never seen it. My gut tells me that they have not seen this ransom note. I would just be hitting up TMZ. I mean, she's connected. She can get anything she wants. Call up those people that had the, like, what if TMZ was like, here, this is one that we got. Who else got it? Like, she wants you. She basically is saying, send me the shit. Send me the stuff. I maybe have contacts and connections and I can get my, I'm going to try to get my mom back. This tells me that she's gone off on her own, her and her family. And you guys are wasting time. You guys think that we did this? You guys think that my sister did this? This is what you're coming in here to the feds are coming into this home thinking that we had something to do with this. We didn't have anything to do with this. So we need to do this because you guys, the police, are looking into us. So this is what we need to do. Since you guys are taking all of your resources and looking at my sister and my brother and me and whoever else. So I don't know. That's what I see here. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't think so. Let me see something else. I want to look into one other thing. Let's see what ransom note.
Somebody purporting to basically issue a ransom demand. I'm not going to read this, but
somebody took black marker and wrote on it.
So something happened here just a few minutes ago. We received an email at TMZ from somebody.
So what's the email? What's the IP address?
Purporting to basically issue a ransom demand. I'm not going to read this, but the top line to it is that they are asking for money a lot. They are asking for it in the form of Bitcoin, and they are putting an or else on this.
Right.
Now, they also say they do two things.
You don't want that number.
Right. They say two things. They say that that there is an address, a Bitcoin address that that they could send this money to, and then they give a description of something that Savannah's mother was wearing at the time of the abduction and a damaged item in the house.
Both things are clearly mentioned because.
Holy shit. Well, what time did you get this? What time was this sent?
They want to prove that they're legit. That
So
they have information about something that happened in the house. We
don't know.
Don't know if that is accurate.
We have called the sheriff's department. We've made multiple calls, spoken with the detective unit. We have passed on this email. We don't know whether this is legit or not. But I will say, this happens from time to time where a media outlet gets something like this. So just in due diligence, we've.
The one thing we should say.
To be taken very, very seriously. Go ahead, Charles.
Yeah,
Sorry.
the one thing we should say is that we have confirmed it. At least the Bitcoin address that they've included in this email is legit.
Right. And the authorities will have to take this very seriously. This is a piece of material evidence that has been turned over. They think an abduction.
Okay, see, I don't deal with Bitcoin. So they told them about an address? Like, isn't that easily to track then if you send that money there? I mean, I don't know. How does that work? I'm not a Bitcoiner, so I guess I can do crash course in it. But
Happened. They have found substance in the house. The detective walked back a little bit. The sheriff walked back the blood idea. They said that things have been gathered and they are testing those substances. But he did clarify that this is a very open and active investigation. So we'll have to see what happens.
So just a few. So something happened here just a few minutes ago. We received an email at TMZ from somebody purporting to basically issue a ransom demand. I'm not going to read this, but the top line to it is that they are asking for money a lot. they are asking for it in the form of Bitcoin, and they are putting an or else on this.
Right.
Now, they also say they do two things.
You don't want that number.
Right. They say two things. They say that that there is an address, a Bitcoin address that that they could send this money to, and then they give a description of something that Savannah's mother was wearing at the time of the abduction, and a damaged item in the house.
Both things are clearly mentioned because they want to prove that they're legit. That
So
they have information about something that happened in the house. We
don't know.
Don't know if that is accurate.
We have called the sheriff's department. We've made multiple calls, spoken with the detective unit. We have passed on this email.
Okay, so let me tell you how trolling works. Okay, it'd be like this: if I had somebody, hey, right now, call me up, send me something. I'm gonna go live with it and watch this. I'm gonna get this to be a million hit episode. Okay, and here it's just all a bunch of shit. Okay, but here I'm not lying that this is really what I got. I'm turning it over to the authorities. Here you go. But really, me and my friends had this, cool idea to do this, because then, I mean, I don't know. This also kind of smells of like, don't look over here, look over here. And so we're going to have this happen. It's very interesting for me with the whole, she was going to be going to the Olympics, obviously being the main host. Now she's not. It seems like this is for the purpose to get money. And then what they tell you, I don't know, what they always tell you about the whole ransom thing is that I'm telling you, once you give them the money, they get the money and she's dead anyways. So that's what they tell you. There's like Savannah's worth 40 plus million. I mean, I would have no problem giving somebody $1 million for my mother. I have no problem giving somebody all my money, okay, for my mother. So whatever they would want, but like, how does that exchange happen? Half now and half when I have her? I mean, they're just going to go drop her off somewhere and no one's going to the feds are going to be all over that. I don't know. Jesus. I gotta do some research. I'm gonna go underground, see if I can get in them tunnels. Oh my god, what is going on? Let's Google. Let's do a little Google analytic. I don't think that anybody that you saw in that video has anything to do with it. Those were like her kids, I think it's interesting that all of them were in it. Gosh. This just took a wild turn. I just came live to do, hey, we're going to follow up with everything's been going on. And then in the middle of this, we have a ransom demand, basically, and it's being acknowledged. And it's like, you know what? We are ready. We have no idea what the police are doing over there because I'm guessing TMZ gave this to them, right? To the family, even if the cops didn't. I mean, she could talk to anybody she wants. Hey, call up this person. Hey, call whoever here and Harvey from give me that. What does that one say? Somebody else had this. I mean, yeah.
So
all right. Jeez. TMZ. That just. How would I even get a ransom note to TMZ? You know, did the bunch of outlets just get emails like, here, whoever can possibly get it up? I don't. Supposedly law enforcement is back at Nancy's home. Yeah, they were there earlier. They were at the daughter's. And I think that they're like upset about it. I think that they're like saying like, what are you guys doing here? Focusing on us. You need to find the people that have our mother. Okay. And it's like, well, it's really interesting that this got put out right after, like, literally they went to the sister's home and did everything they did there. And I would be furious. I'd be like, what the hell are you doing here? Because if you're doing all this stuff here, unless this is a decoy for the person that's watching, be like, yep, they think it's the family, you know? So, and ready for this part? Oh my gosh. Let's not forget the fact that the sheriff was going to go. He's like, I'm not doing with the media. I'm going to do it tomorrow at like 11. So he closed off everything. I bet you he knew this was coming. And he's like, yep, I'm going to be at, oh my God. Okay. Yeah, I got to go. I'm going to go do some digging. I'll be back though. I'll be back. I need to focus. I need to wrap my head around some stuff. I got to do some digging. I think that they have an idea what it's about. Damn. Awful. Absolutely awful. Nearby trespassing raises concerns. Okay, well, nearby trespassing. Who's trespassing? Shit. Okay, so Chicago authorities review possible ransom notes. Ransom notes, plural.
Is there any indication so far as to whether this was a random abduction or?
This morning, authorities are reviewing possible ransom notes as part of the investigation into 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. The sheriff saying he believes Guthrie was abducted from her bed. Our affiliate in Tucson reports it received one of the ransom notes and sent it to law enforcement. Officials are now investigating if the notes are legitimate.
Is there any indication so far as to whether this was a random abduction or targeted?
We're looking at all the leads, and we don't know. We're going to assume both sides of that.
And we're now hearing police dispatch audio.
Nancy, a white female, 84 years of age, 5'2" medium build, powder blue.
With authorities concerned at that moment about Nancy Guthrie's health.
Nancy has high blood pressure, pacemaker, and cardiac issues.
Guthrie relies on medication left behind at the house. The sheriff saying 24 hours without it could be fatal. DNA samples collected at the house were confirmed to belong to Guthrie, but officials have not confirmed if they were blood. The FBI assisting in the search, conducting interviews and analyzing electronics.
If there's any indication that she had communications with somebody prior, maybe somebody texted her, maybe she was going back and forth and they knew that she was home by herself at that time. I understand she also has a pacemaker.
I think that if you live at home by yourself, that you're going to be there at 2 o'clock in the morning by yourself.
That does connect with Wi-Fi and possibly the internet. So is there some way that they can use that to help identify when she left, where she went?
Neighbors shaken by the news.
This probably is not it's going to be a good outcome.
Many trying to help search, even stopping other neighbors to ask them to check their security cameras.
We sent out an alert to all the neighbors.
Nancy Guthrie's home has security cameras, but officials say they haven't been able to access the footage, and the camera attached to the front of the home is missing.
Sweetheart.
Love you.
We love you.
Nancy often appeared with her daughter on the Today Show, and the two have been open about their close bond. Nancy raising Savannah and her two siblings as a single mom after her husband died while Savannah was in high school. It was people in...
How did her husband die?
Nancy's church who alerted the family when she didn't show up to service Sunday morning, and there are no street lights in her neighborhood, which could make analyzing security camera footage extra challenging.
So somebody would know that that's her Sunday routine. So somebody would know that it would be a heart attack. Somebody would know that she's expecting to be at church. So when she doesn't show up for church, I mean, if you're talking about people that really took some time in this. I guess, is the Mexican border only, what's it, 30 to 60 miles over there? $30. What was Morgan Kelly talking about? I was wondering if they could ping the pacemaker.
Ashley Banfield, who hosts her own podcast called Drop Dead Serious, is breaking exclusive
to the sister of smashed, so that the suspect likely knew about the locations of them, but that the car belonging to the sister of Savannah Guthrie, Annie Guthrie, was towed, impounded, and taken into evidence. And this,
they were probably checking. Now I think that they took it because they were checking to see if it could have been potentially bugged, or like if there was like a trace on it. Okay.
This is the wording. It's very important. The wording is very important. He said they now believe the son-in-law may be the prime suspect. Those are the words. Son-in-law.
Who said that? Who said that?
May be the prime suspect at this point. And I'm very mindful. I covered the Elizabeth Smart case. I was out quickly and start tractors and friends.
It's surprising to me because there was forced entry. And from the beginning, because the family went in, they just knock on the door and Nancy got
former, right? And he's shown the video of it. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
However, my source says the back door is wide open. Back door left wide open. That's what my source said. I had a...
Okay, so check this out, guys. Look at this blood. Look at this blood. But yeah, in the Idaho 4 case, none of this is outside. Get out of here, right? Wow.
And I specifically said, so are you telling me, when you said that she did not walk out of that house on her own, I said, are you telling me that she might
carried?
Might have been carried out of that house. And I used the word over the threshold of the front door. And he said, I didn't say front door. But he didn't say no carried. But when he said, I didn't say no to the front door, and then, the next day I'm getting information about the back door, it's pretty safe to say, well, that makes perfect sense.
Then what do you think happened at the front door unless it is 1000% staged? So the front door that blood would be staged, how would if they went out the back door, how would there be any blood up over here? Because they were gonna leave the front door? They're like, oh, you know what? Let's go out the back. Unless when they tested that blood, is it not hers?
However, why is there blood at the front door? And Brian Enton said he couldn't find the trail continuing past to the walkway that would take you to the driveway. Now it is gravel, a little
you
harder
put a
maybe to
bag over
see
her
any
head.
blood, but not impossible. So
the bag over her head, and she was probably fighting it to go on, and that's probably why.
Trying to
But
go
couldn't they have
through
gotten
that-
her in the car, Ashley? I mean, like, I'm picturing a scenario where couldn't all those facts be consistent with they came in through the back door, then they got her, then they brought her out the front door after injuring her. Then the blood trail continued just to the driveway.
Well, it didn't.
Where they then put her in a car.
That's the problem.
It ended well prior to the driveway?
Yeah.
You just saw it. I mean, do people pay attention? It's just in that area. It would tell me that, yeah, if you put a bag over someone's head, like, that it just stops. Or you're putting something over to...
Blood trail is just at the front door on those tiles.
Could not. I watched it because they wanted to.
This is super interesting. Blood drops. However, that's what my source said. I had a.
So where was the last one? See that?
Is wide open.
You know what? Let's go back to Enton's video. Let's take a look at Enton's video one more time.
Working through the new DNA evidence they have acquired. Brand new 911 calls, meantime, reveal the medical conditions that are putting Nancy Guthrie's health at risk. Listen.
Have you referenced Nancy, a white female, 84 years of age, 5'2" medium build, brown blue, things after 2,200 hours as of yesterday?
Wait, right there. Missing after 2,200 hours as of yesterday. So that's 10. Why are they consider her missing at 10? And that's 10 at night. Missing after 10. That's fucked up. That's totally different. Hold on. That's completely different. Why would you be, she's missing since 10? What did they look at to see like that? Interesting. That's a really weird way to say that. To say that you're missing since 10 versus the last time we saw her, like, she wasn't missing that. Like, how do you know that she's still in her house? You know what I mean? Like, she's at her home, and then it doesn't happen until. So maybe when they're just calling it in the way that this broad wants to just say it is the last time they saw her was at 10. So last seen, but I would never say missing after 10. I mean, I just last seen. The fuck, last seen.
Nancy has high blood pressure, pacemaker, and cardiac issues.
A possible ransom note was reportedly sent to media outlets demanding millions of dollars in Bitcoin, but police have not yet confirmed its authenticity, saying we are aware of reports circulating about a possible ransom note related to the investigation.
Look at notes, plural.
Into Nancy Guthrie. All tips and leads are being taken seriously and are forwarded directly to our detectives, who are coordinating with the FBI. But police are also struggling to answer other questions about this investigation.
Do you have any idea what Nancy Guthrie was wearing or the type of car that she might have left on, or any identifiable information that the public could use to help?
Yeah, think about that. They have flock. Okay, think about that. We could. What fucking car did she leave in? Let's go take a look at our flock cameras here. It's flocker. So sick and tired. Come on, we're gonna flock her. Flocky flock. Flock it up. Did they take down my map reader? Oh my god, no way. Oh, fuckers. Hold on one second. This is nuts. What's that address again? Nuts, I tell you. Wow, they're trying to deflock everywhere. Deflock, block, 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 block. Well, since they're here, we might as well use them, right? Block cameras. Find nearby APL. Let's see what we got. There are 73,221 LPRs mapped in the United States right now. Let's see what we got. Tucson. Wow. View the map. Okay, got it. All right. Tucson, Arizona. I'm going to find her. I want Tucson, Arizona block maps right now. Let's see. Hold on, I'm gonna show the map here just in 1 second, guys. Okay, let's go get it. All right, we got Tucson up. All right, let's go to town. Oh, shit. That's not what I wanted to do. What was the address? You think that's it? Okay. It is. Okay. Mm-hmm. Wait, where'd this just take? What the hell did it just do? We got flock cameras there. Put in a FOIA. Where's First Ave? God, this thing always gets stuck. Why is it doing that? It's got all jammed up. This is acting out. Yeah, it's really it's kind of messing with what I'm trying to do too. I'm gonna put in First Ave. I want to see. See, like, what the hell is this thing doing? I've never seen it do this before. Yeah, really bad. Like really, really bad. Like, what the fuck is it doing? Now it's taking me over here. What was that address again? Oh. 5. Yeah.
Can you read it on here?
Yep. That's interesting.
Where is it sitting? It's right at her house.
No. All right, so the closest one. See, it's glitching. It should be popping up. The fuck is this thing doing? Wow. This has never glitched like this before. Okay, well, let's just see where First Ave is. Screw you. Okay, basically First Ave, it's they have a bunch of like the same freaking streets with all right. We'll be back. I need to see what the hell's going on. We'll be back. I gotta put some FOIAs in. Till next time, guys. We'll be back. Now it wants to work. Where are my cameras? Okay. All right. We got some movement here. Okay. Holy shit. All right. They have... Damn. Yeah, we'll be back. All right, guys, until next time. Oh, boy.